I get it now. I thought the Stow and Hydro Nubuck wasn't great. But this, I get it now. How you going? Welcome to Bootlosophy. My name is Teg, and I'm working on Wajak Country, Kalikol Wajak Nungabuja. This is Tricker's most famous boot, their country brogue boot called the Stow, in their most famous leather called Acorn Antique. If you're a subscriber, and if you're not, why not? Why not click on subscribe now and click on like down there as well? If you're a subscriber, you know I bought and reviewed a Stow boot, but in Hydro Nubuck leather, a waterproof treated nubuck from Charles F. Stead. You can go and watch my review of that boot, but while I like the nubuck and I could see the obvious quality of the construction, I was confused by why a waterproof boot didn't have a gusseted or even semi-gusseted tongue. And I was totally unimpressed by the comfort, even having to go to the extent of inserting a stick-on arch support wedge inside the boot. I didn't like it. But so many people said their Stow boots were incredibly comfortable. My friend Ellie, the Heritage Tribute on Instagram, said that they were amongst his most comfortable boots. And someone else said that I may have got one of Tricker's lightweight models where they used a lot less material in the midsole and the cork filling to keep it lightweight. So I had an itchy bum that I really needed to scratch. I bought another pair. This time in the Tricker Stow iconic and original Acorn leather with a leather sole. And yeah, I get it now. The build is different. Spoiler alert, don't get a pair of Tricker's lightweight models. As usual, let me briefly describe the style and design aesthetics of this boot. It is an English country brogue boot. Let's break that down. In the UK, a country boot is a traditional, durable leather boot designed for rural pursuits like walking and shooting, characterized by heavy build, thick soles, and often intricate broguing. They're pretty versatile boots built for comfort in rugged wet conditions while also remaining stylish enough for casual wear in town. In the last 5 or 6 or so decades, they have even become acceptable footwear for a professional office in the city. In fact, I think way back, Churchill wore a black pair to sit in Parliament during the Second World War. The Stow is about 6 inches high in the shaft, has intricate broguing, which are these holes punched through the edges of the leather pieces before they're all stitched together. Originally, these brogues allowed rural workers to walk through damp bogs and have the water drain more easily from their boots, but they're now purely decorative. Built on Tricker's 4497S last, that's a mouthful, it has a generous, roomy shape that also looks like it has a strong, solid build that is distinctive without being flashy. The toe is rounded, but it's also almond-shaped and quite elegant. The 7 eyelets defines its silhouette as a traditional English derby boot. In profile, that flat sole and solid block heel gives it a sturdy country feel. The Stow in this light and quite orangey tan can go with most colors in your outfitting. I think you can go 2 ways. You can go all in as a traditional English country boot and wear it with heavier tan flannel pants, an English tattersall check shirt, and a brown houndstooth sports coat. Another style in the same vein for cooler and wetter weather is throwing a jumper on and then the Huckberry waxed Hudson jacket that looks like a way more expensive Barber jacket. On the other hand, you can take a city approach wearing charcoal wool pants to go to the office with a white shirt and a black blazer and put on a tie if that's your office dress code. The Acorn color is also good enough to go even more dressy and pair it with a light grey suit and tie. Some might think the boots are too casual for this, but I think you can get away with it as a stylish and individual choice. Finally, wear it with denim. No problem styling it like a totally casual boot with jeans, a flannel shirt from Proper Cloth, and a waxed trucker jacket from Huckberry, giving this look totally relaxed vibes. Check below for links to various websites for some of the clothing articles I'm showing here. Let's take a look at the brand Trickers. Established in 1829 by Joseph Tricker, Trickers holds the prestigious title of Britain's oldest shoemaker. Born in the heart of Northampton, that's the UK's historical capital of high-grade footwear, Trickers remained a family-owned brand for 5 generations, but more of this in a minute. Their heritage is centered on a commitment to making shoes from start to finish under one roof, which is a rarity in an era of global outsourcing. The brand's most significant contribution to menswear came in 1840 when Joseph's son-in-law, Walter James Baltrop, designed the world's first waterproof country boot. This prototype evolved into the legendary Stow and Burton models, defining the English country aesthetic with their signature heavy broguing and robust construction. In 1938, they opened their flagship store at 67 Jermyn Street, London, placing their rugged country boots alongside the world's finest bespoke tailors. This move to the capital helped transition the brand from a rural essential to a sophisticated staple for the urban gentleman, while maintaining the overbuilt durability required for life in the fields. Trickers is a favorite with the British royal family. King Charles III has been a loyal customer for decades, awarding the company a royal warrant in 1989 while still Prince of Wales. And since becoming king, he has renewed their royal warrant as one from the king. To this day, every pair of boots is still handmade using a painstaking 260-step process that takes roughly 8 weeks to complete. In May 2025, James Fayed acquired a 71% stake in the company through his investment company, co-owned by designer Roberto Menichetti. The Baltrop family has retained a minority stake and are still involved in management, while Menichetti has been named creative director. Fayed's uncle, by the way, is the late Mohammed Al Fayed, the Egyptian billionaire who owned Harrods in London and the Ritz in Paris. James Fayed's cousin, in fact, was Dodi Fayed, who died in the accident with Princess Diana in the Paris car crash. Since the acquisition, Tricker's strategy seems to have changed, focusing on a direct-to-consumer strategy, focusing on online sales and deprioritizing wholesaling to other retailers. Lovers of heritage Northampton brands, I think, will watch to see what other changes might be in the cards. Let's look at the construction details of this boot, and I'll start from the bottom and then work my way up. So this boot is a Goodyear welted boot. That means that the uppers and the sole are connected through a strip of leather called the welt. The welt is stitched to the uppers on the inside of the boot, and it goes all the way around the edge of the boot, and on the outside edge, it's stitched to the sole, all the way through to the sole. Because it goes all the way around the boot, it's called a 360-degree welt. In this case, it's a storm welt, where a lip on the welt is pushed up against the side of the uppers, thus increasing water resistance. Goodyear welting already creates pretty good water resistance because the stitches on the inside and the stitches on the outside never go all the way through from inside to outside, and so moisture can't leach through the stitching into your socks. Looking at the sole construction, it's a double thickness leather sole. Look carefully and you can see the edge of the welt, which is about 5 millimeters thick. That's a pretty damn thick welt. And then you see the midsole, which is also about 5 millimeters thick as well. And then the leather outsole, itself about 7 millimeters thick at least. This makes the boot quite hard to flex when new and contributes to its weight of nearly 1 kilogram per boot. The heel is made up of 4 lifts or stacks of veg tan leather, the topmost lift being scarred to create the right angle for the boot to sit. And the 5th most bottom leather lift incorporates a rubber insert for grip when you put your heel down. The outsole leather is oak tanned and ridiculously hard. Moving on up inside the boot is a veg tanned insole, and on top of that at the heel is a 4-grain piece of branded leather with a thin foam base, used as a comfort liner for the heel. The boot is fully lined with a soft calf leather liner. The tongue is semi-gusseted up to between the 3rd and 4th eyelets, and only lined at the top half for the flexibility at the base to bend. The eyelets, all eyelets, are brass, painted brown, and are of the type that's simply squashed in at the back, but done well enough so that it doesn't feel scratchy. The uppers leather is a premium full grain leather. Exact identity of the tannery a well-kept Tricker secret, but known to be sourced from a specialist tannery that developed and supplies this calf leather for them. I believe it's combination tan, which provides the rich look of veg tanning with the durability and weather resistance of chrome tanning. Obviously, Acorn refers to the color, and antique refers to the finish of the depth of the color, which is often described as lustrous, the more it's worn and conditioned. The pattern is complex. The vamp has a long wing brogue piece with simple brogue rows at the toe. The quarters have broguing and pinking details, and the heel counter cover at the back also has broguing and pinking and extends across the heel to meet the quarters. Right at the back is a skinny backstay, and at the top is sewn in a cloth pull tab. Just from holding it, this is a solidly built boot. To care for Acorn antique leather, Trickers emphasizes a routine of regular cleaning, nourishing, and moisture management to maintain its unique yellowish tan hue and structural integrity. They recommend the use of cedar shoe trees after wearing to help the boots maintain their shape and then absorb any internal moisture, and to rotate their use so that they're not worn on consecutive days, allowing them to dry out completely between uses. They recommend regular brushing, and certainly before any treatment or conditioning, they say to use a dedicated horsehair brush to remove surface dirt and dust. Then they recommend conditioning with a small amount of Tricker's shoe cream to keep the calf skin supple and prevent cracking. They do sell cream in this color, but you can also use neutral cream if you want to maintain the existing color and eventually the patina without any change. After the cream has absorbed, they say to apply a thin layer of wax polish. Now, this provides a temporary weather-resistant barrier and a high shine. If the boots get wet, they say to let them dry naturally at room temperature. Never place them near a radiator or direct heat source, as this will cause the leather to suck dry and crack. Allow any heavy mud to dry completely before brushing it off to avoid rubbing grit into the leather grain. I think if you wanted to use another good quality boot cream or like Saphir or Venetian shoe cream, you won't go wrong. You can also decide not to apply a wax polish if you want. You know, it does add a layer of protection, but it might sometimes suffocate the leather. The Tricker's sizing is true to size, but be aware, American viewers, they use the UK convention of sizing, which is one number down from your American size, kind of like Viberg. So a size 9 in US sizing is a size 8 in UK sizing, but they are true to size. Taking my example of a true US Brannock size of 8.5, I size UK 7.5 in Trickers. Definitely do not go down by half a size. Their number 5 fitting is their standard width, but it is quite a roomy last, wide to accommodate comfort for country walking and long hours standing in them. As for comfort, well, this is where this was a revelation to me. I really didn't like the comfort of their lightweight version in the Hydro Nubuck. The sole felt flat and lifeless, and I didn't get any arch support at all. This feel is a lot more substantial. It's firm at first, but there is a definite feel of a lot of leather under your feet that almost immediately starts to move to the shape of your feet. Over time, I think this will get more and more comfortable, like a good Pacific Northwest work boot with lots of layer underneath. The support of your ankle with this firm tempered but supple leather is good, and the width of the last is much appreciated. I bought this pair, not directly from Trickers, but from Herring Shoes in Devon. I've already mentioned it before in other videos, and I actually bought a Herring branded boot, the Caution, so you can go see that video. I bought these from Herring because I got a discount code after I bought their Caution boot. And their quoted prices all up includes postage and any taxes, so you don't pay any extra. They cost me 920 Aussie dollars all up. If I bought from Trickers directly, they would have been $967 plus postage plus taxes, totaling about $1,100. What I also like from Herring is their service. After I ordered, I got an email from them telling me that Trickers were out of stock in the day-night sole model that I ordered, And would I like to wait? Might be several weeks. After going back and forth, they helped me get this leather sole model immediately, which I was happy with. With Tricker's change in strategy, I wonder what would happen with retailers that give you good service like Herring. In terms of value, at the Tricker's website price of £595 sterling, they're worth it for what you get. They are sturdy and durably built, real leather materials, they're well finished and every stitch is in the right place. They feel solid like any P&W boot, and in this leather, they're iconic. My father back in the 1960s had a pair of Tricker's brogue shoes in the Acorn color, and I know they lasted him for at least a decade. I was sorely disappointed with the Hydro Nubuck Stow boots, but I'm so glad I bought these, and I will be wearing these a lot. The Hydro Nubuck version may have to go on my for sale list. That's it. We have finished. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please click on like and subscribe. I'll be back next week with another review, so don't miss it. Click on like, subscribe, and come back here for more. Look after yourselves out there. It's a tricky world. See you again soon.